Here's a brief but annoying message to let you know that you could have first heard this episode 9 months ago if you were a subscriber to our Iron Filing Society Patreon offering.
For the price of a pint and a St Clement's each month, you can get up to 4 episodes a week, 9 months before the rest of the world gets them. Early access to regular episodes, lots of other marvellous benefits, and there's absolutely no adverts or brief but annoying messages like this that will get right on your ticks.
Find out more and subscribe now at tftimemachine.com/ironfilings.
Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go, this is it!
This is Top Flight Time Machine. I am Andy Hotbody Dawson. Pow, pow, pow.
I am Sam Nifty Delaney, so what?
There was a pause there as if you weren't quite sure.
Yeah, I don't feel quite certain this morning that I really am nifty.
There's a little bit of COVID lingering going on.
Yeah, and also I just feel like a fraud because obviously I earned the nickname Nifty for being kind of lively, energetic, nimble.
You used to go up and down chimneys, didn't you?
Yeah, no, I worked for a burglary gang. And they like to get me through small spaces and so forth, and that's how I became known as Nifty.
Yeah.
But the way I'm feeling now, post-COVID, still low on energy, I just don't think I could nift as well as I used to.
No one's going to ask you to do any nifting in the near future, put it that way. Of course, you used to be able to compress your skeleton like a mouse can.
Yeah.
In order to get through small gaps, can't you?
Yeah, I could do all of that. But now I just don't feel it's like COVID. I haven't read that. I'm on quite a few communities on Reddit for other people who are nifty, chimney sweeps, burglar assistants, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
and I'm on a lot of the forums, and I haven't read anyone yet saying that they have lost completely their niftiness.
Lost their nift.
Long term. But
yeah.
I'm digging around because I'm worried that could be a part of like long COVID, complete nift loss.
I think you need to just take it easy and just rebuild your nift.
Yeah.
Gradually, I think.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't use it professionally anymore. I don't do the chimneys or the burglaring anymore, but I do like to just have it up my sleeve, just if I'm looking to entertain people in the pub or something like that. You know, just a bit of fun. Fun for the kiddies at Christmas. I do a few nifty turns.
I mean, that one time you invited me round to yours for tea, and you were up and down that drain pipe on the back of your house, showing off. I think
you can believe it.
Showing off.
You can believe it. I was like,
impressive.
I made myself like a pencil.
What a night! And the torrential rain just added to the drama. But
let's hope those days will come again. Just need to keep resting and drinking tea.
Yeah. All right. This is the Melchester Odyssey. And I have in my left hand the 26th of May 1984 issue of Roy the Rovers. 22 pence it was costing the UK punter at this time. Worth every penny, I think. On the top of the front page, sign please. There isn't a clue, it just tells you, bosh. Everton's Adrian Heath.
We're not going to fuck around. They're experimenting with new types of cover line. They go, the whole kind of mysterious thing isn't really playing with the kids anymore. They're sick of it. A lot of them know that we're just going to give them some fucking semi-anonymous right back from Norwich City, right? From now on, I want big names, and when we've got them, announce them, shout them from the rooftops. I'm talking the likes of Adrian Heath. Pocket-sized goal machine, Adrian Heath.
Adrian Inchy Heath.
Yeah, he was actually really good.
He was.
Never got an England cap, I don't think.
Sorry?
He never got an England cap, I don't think.
I don't think he did. I think he was. If he did, he would have been one or two probably. But he became Sunderland's reserve team manager during the Peter Reid era, which was our greatest era of modern times. And he did well. And then he progressed to first team coach, and then it all fell apart.
Yeah.
But he's actually
I
in the
remember
picture.
him at Sunderland. Yeah.
Peter Reid's actually in the background.
Yeah.
So they're just inextricably linked.
It's the classic Everton kit with the white V at the neckline. Yeah. And who's the sponsor there?
What was it again? Hafina or Hafnia, something like that. I can't really make it out. It's the Peter Reid element is a bit blurred. And I don't know who they're playing there either.
In the 80s, who was the most sort of iconic shirt sponsor for Sunderland when you think of the 80s?
We had Cowie's.
What is that?
It was a local car dealership, which was owned by a fella called Tom Cowie.
Yeah.
Then he was the chairman of Sunderland for a while.
Local big deal.
That classic style, local businessman then progressed to taking chairmanship of the football club.
Successful local butcher.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Very Roy and the Rovers.
Progression.
Very Roy and the Rovers, that really, isn't it? To have a local car dealer become the chairman. Oh, can you imagine? I bet he was very... I don't want to say too much about... What's his first name? Cowie?
Tom Cowie.
Tom Cowie. Look, maybe he was a good guy, but I've got strong feelings that he threw his weight around and really loved the sort of status that he had as a result of his wealth. He could not be more right. Yeah.
the fans hated him because he just wouldn't put any money into the club at all.
Yeah.
And that was the days when, the car dealership owner did put money into the club because it was such a low level, football was such a low level thing.
Yeah.
There's so little money going around in it. Players would get a car from the local dealership that was sponsored. They'd have their name written up the side of it. You know what I mean? Like Gary Rowell.
They all had that. Even in I remember West Ham had that.
Car.
And they were quite shit cars. And it would be like Frank McAvenny drives a fucking Ford Astra or whatever.
Yeah.
And they didn't care driving around in it, but they must have got coined a lot. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you drive your Sunderland car into Newcastle city centre and it announces on the side, all right, cunts, that's right, I play for Sunderland. What do you think about that? And you park up in the high street, someone's going to do its headlights in, aren't they?
Or even if you're living in a city where it's a two-club city, you never know what kind of abuse would come around the corner. Speaking of public abuse, there's a good video that Jeremy Vine tweeted this morning of him out on his bike, which he does post videos of himself cycling and things he comes across, usually dangerous drivers. But someone just he rides around this fella who's crossing the road, Amazon delivery guy apparently, and I'm going to find it, I'm going to play it. Jeremy Vine, he's got 2 Twitter accounts.
Cheeky cunt. One's for his side piece.
Jeremy Vine is on the telly from 9:15 a.m. through 2 p.m. in the afternoon on Radio 2, and there's an overlap. How is he on Channel 5 until 1 o'clock? Yet he's on Radio 2 at the same time.
There's something funny going on with this bloke.
There's no one questioned that. Where's this fucking thing?
Very funny. Maybe he prereqs the final hour of his Radio 2 show. I wouldn't be surprised if he did that. I've known presenters to do that. So you get in early, you record an hour, which is generally just like a long interview with someone on the phone, and then the producer sticks some tracks in, because they got tracks to cover themselves with as well, right? And then they do the 2 hours live, and then they fuck off, and the producer just plays out the pre-recorded hour.
Right.
And he's fucking doubling his dough. I mean, he must be...
He'll do that the other way around.
He must be money fucking mental to live like that. I mean, I know broadcasters who've done that, and God knows, when I've been, like, very busy, I've tried to squeeze in... Like, literally, what he's trying to do is he's trying to squeeze in more work than there are hours in the day. Do you know what I mean?
There's no need.
I've had to do it before, but, like, that was when I felt under pressure to make ends meet. Come on, Vine. We know how much you get paid because it's been well documented. You were cited extensively in some of the pay disparity disputes in the BBC about gender pay gap and so forth, to sort of highlight it. So we know he's getting a fucking right good packet, and has been for years. Now he's got his champion. I'd just say, mate, slow down. Slow down, Viney. You don't need to be doing all of this, you know?
Give the morning show to Sam Delaney.
No, I don't want it either, because it's just too much. It's too much. Andy, I'd have to go there.
Exactly.
I can't remember. I went there quite near the beginning of this. I used to sometimes go when it was the right stuff, which basically the same show. I used to go on that from time to time. I never really had a particularly good experience on there. Although although Matthew Wright did once give me an unsolicited shoulder rub while I was in the makeup room.
Oh, that's nice.
Which I did enjoy. At first I was like, this is a bit weird. And then I was like, no, I'm enjoying it. It's fine.
Enjoying it, yeah.
He's just trying to make me relax, and it's working. Yeah. Went on with Anne Diamond once.
Did she give you any kind of physical contact?
I get on really well with Anne Diamond. Think she's well, I've told you about I went out with her stepdaughter when I was a kid.
You did? Yeah.
And then I went round her house and we were just teenagers sneaking around doing teenagey things, you know, like nicking booze and all that sort of stuff. And then years later, I crop up on Sky News as well as The Right Stuff with her. And she goes, hello. And I go, yeah, we've met before. And she goes, when? I go, about 1989 when I was going out with your stepdaughter and I was like fucking sneaking around your house, nicking cans of beer and smoking spliffs in your garden. And she's like, and she was literally like, oh, fucking hell. You just made me feel so fucking old.
It's nifty, isn't it?
Oh, well, you're the one who used to go up and down the fucking drain pipe. Yeah, that's right. You remember me now, don't you?
How could I forget you, dear boy? Let's have a listen to this Jeremy Vine.
When we were first doing, just quick, when we were first doing this podcast, I went on, and it was when Jeremy Vine first took over, but he wasn't there that day. They had a guest host. I can't remember her name, but Shilton was on. Do you remember? And we'd been talking about Shilton a lot in the early days of this podcast. He'd become a person of strong interest from us right from the get-go. Yeah. And Shilton was, I think probably because at the time he was fucking sticking his oar into a lot of political and cultural debates. Because he went through a phase of doing that, didn't he? He loved it. And then I think, thank God he stopped, or people have started to ignore him. But yeah, I fucking rock up to the studio. First thing I did, I look on, they're already recording. I'm in the green room. They got the live feed coming out on the screen. First thing I saw was Shilton. I've taken a picture and sent it straight to you. Yeah. Mate, I'm in the fucking lion's den.
The person of interest, an arguido, as I think they call him in Portugal.
Yeah. Anyway, play this clip.
Jeremy Vine on Twitter. Not the sound works. Riding along, rides around a white van that's sticking out from a junction. Man walks in front of him. Amazon delivery guy.
Why?
Fine, you prick.
And then does Vine say, why? In his news voice.
Me? Why?
No, but he does it in his news journalist. Why? Answer the question. Why am I a prick?
Tell me it. Yeah, and then the fella just shouts again, prick.
Prick. But why? You're repeating yourself. Your argument doesn't stack up.
That's not an argument.
You can't just keep saying the word prick. That's 3 times now. 3 strikes, you're out. You've given me no reason at all. Your arguments are paper thin. You're in a muddle and you've lost the debate.
I'm removing you from the show. Not a show, you prick. It's a street, prick.
Why? I'm going to do that next time someone shouts at me and Jamie. Cunt. Why? Why? Such a funny response.
The best thing about it is Vine's fucking posted that himself.
I know. That's brilliant. Well, I don't know what he thinks. I mean, I feel like I don't know enough about Vine's character. But does he get that that's funny, or is he sort of posted it so look at the standard of idiots on the road today?
I haven't got a clue, because his brother's Tim Vine, who's that moderately amusing comedian.
Yeah, he's a good bloke.
Blood in the family. But I don't know. I can't. He's slippery, isn't he? Characteristically, he's hard to fathom.
Yeah,
that's probably what he enjoys doing.
Jalapeño.
I'd like to know people's thoughts on him. I don't want to invite too much interaction, but I at the moment am remaining very neutral. He's one of these characters who seems ubiquitous, and yet I have not got to grips with him.
He's in that wheelhouse of Jake Humphries, I guess.
No, come on, they've gone too far too soon.
No, I think he's in that same outspoken, got a lot to say for himself, but we're not really completely sure where he's coming from. Well, I think we are shoe with Humphreys.
We know
By
where
the way,
Humphreys is coming from.
Humphreys the other day did a tweet asking his followers to suggest people
in
as
the
guests
northeast
on his show from the northeast,
I saw
and
this.
ideally non-football. And I was nominated many times on that thread.
Mate.
So I'm waiting for the call.
Could that happen? I think it could. Hang on. What's it called again? High performance. Or elite performance.
High performance, yeah.
High performance. You're a high-performing podcaster. There's not many people performing more highly than you in the podcast space. That's what you've got to call it, by the way, space. So why shouldn't he have you on it?
Well, we'll see. We'll see. His people can talk to my people. I'm sure they know where they are. We'll see what happens. We'll just get back to this Melchester thing.
Yes, this is Oscar. Well, I'll have to check his diary. Oh, well, I'm in it. No company.
You do it.
Leaf. Tuesday the 5th. Yeah, I think he has a captain. Do you provide transport? Oh, no problem. He'll drive himself.
Yeah, that'll happen. So anyway, Melchester. Sign please, Adrian Heath on the top. Fucking it's cup final. Forgot about that. Front cover. The long-awaited FA Cup final had arrived between the club that Roy Race had briefly managed, Walford Rovers, and his own beloved Melchester Rovers. Thanks to cunning pressures. What's a great name for a group, isn't it?
Cunning pressures, yeah.
Exerted by Walford skipper and club cunt Joe Bellamy, Roy had lost 5 key players. Joe Bellamy has caused the loss of 5 key Melchester players solely through his cunning pressures.
Yeah, time to apply some cunning pressures.
Which basically, summed up, was hire an helicopter. That was it, wasn't it?
I'm going to cunt race off from the sky.
Fucking hell, cunning pressure, sky pressure.
Even Race won't be able to legislate for that.
I'm aiming to put out between 3 and 6 Melchester players for this cup final. And he's achieved 5. And one of the replacements was right-sided defender Errol Bridger. Ooh. Only 19 years old, Errol had never played for the Melchester first team until now at Wembley Stadium in front of 100,000 roaring fans.
I'm a fucking huge fan of the name Errol. It's a fucking sensational name, and I'm so gutted that I never called one of my kids or my pets Errol.
You could change your own name by default.
I'd fucking love to be called Errol. Yeah, Errol. But it's sort of like, I don't know, I think you sound quite hard if you're called Errol, but not in a bad way, not as in heartless, but I think you'd know how to physically handle yourself if you're called Errol. Roland Rat had a mate called Errol, didn't he?
I was going to say there was Errol the hamster, was he?
Was
Kevin
he the one who got Errol?
Errol the hamster.
There was Kevin the gerbil, and Errol was Welsh, I think.
Errol was Welsh, that's right, yeah.
And he was like Kevin was a bit of a fucking prick who just was scared of Roland, whereas Errol had somehow found himself embroiled in Roland's sort of world, but was quite grumpy and curmudgeonly about it.
It was sort of the calming influence, I think, out of the 3 of them. He was the kind of the rock.
Yeah, because he was less impressed by fucking Roland's rampant ego.
Errol's kind of demeanour was always, not this now, not this again.
But he used to go,
why are we doing this?
He used to go, Errol, roll VT.
Errol.
He'd always tend to roll VT, didn't he? And I never knew what that was. It's quite a TV-ish term. But then, I learnt it. And it's like, Errol, roll TV. Oh, bloody hell. What now?
Fucking Roland Rat on TVAM every morning during the school holidays was essential viewing.
It's essential viewing.
He was incredible.
Yeah, because Greg Dyke, who I've always liked, actually, he seems like a good bloke, Greg Dyke, I think. And he's like, right, this fucking breakfast show you've done is a car crash. You spent millions on it and no cunt wants to watch. And I'll tell you why. It's fucking boring. But don't worry, because I'm the new gaffer. And I've got you a fucking solution. And you should be fucking thanking me for it. And here it is. That's right. It's a fucking puppet rat. And they're like all news journalists who made TVM. Like they're top fucking news people.
It started out, they had Michael Parkinson, David Frost, Angela Rippon,
These are heavyweights.
Couple of others, heavyweights.
But the thing is, I really like it, that the fact that Michael Parkinson, Britain's most pompous man, right?
Yeah.
Think, oh, yes, Michael Parkinson, I'll arrive and I'll revolutionise breakfast television with my heavyweight journalism and warm interviewing style. And, of course,
Anecdotes of Yorkshire.
My unrivalled contacts book. We're talking the likes of Muhammad Ali, of Grace Jones, of course, the Big Yin, Billy Connolly, who I count as a close personal friend. Sammy Davis Jr. I may even be able to convince him to do a regular slot after the weather. Maybe a tap dance. Right? So he thinks he's it, doesn't he? The fucking egomaniac cunt. And he's failed. And then Greg Dyke's come in and gone, this is a failure, but I'm going to save it. And you're getting replaced, Parky, by this fucking rat. A puppet rat.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. It's an insult to me and it's an insult to the viewers. It's an insult to broadcast journalism, of which I am quite rightly regarded as a king amongst peasants. And you, Dyke, you come in here looking and sounding like a market stall trader, right? Peddling apples and pears down at fucking Petticoat Lane, right? And
comprehensive school educated reprobate.
Yes, disgusting. And you have come
Not
here.
even grammar school.
You've spoken to me, a grammar school legend, and you've told me that this rat. Who is this rat? What's his characteristic? What's his fucking agenda? You know, let me see his CV. He's a fucking shut it, Parky. He's a fucking rat. And the joke is that he's fucking egomaniac. And I'm talking his ego's even bigger than yours, right? That's the shtick. But the twist is, unlike you, he is not a cunt. There is something lovable about him. And he's going to save this show and save ITV. Oh, it's ridiculous. It will never work. Fucking 6 months later, Roland Rat is literally bigger than the Beatles.
Yeah. I tell you the other stroke of genius, which I think it probably was Greg Dyke as well, TVAM, 5 to 8 every morning, just 5 minutes before the 8 o'clock news, a pop video.
Yeah.
Every kid who was getting ready for school or having their breakfast is going to put TVM on over breakfast time because there's going to be a pop video.
We've had the rat put on a pop video. Send them off to school with a fucking smile on their face.
This is 1983, 1984, whatever, and pop videos were in their infancy, in their pomp. You know, you're going to put it on.
Put on Billie Jean. Right, finish the bit with a rat, then put on Billie Jean. Then the cunts will be at school. And they'll all be fucking happy, and they'll tell their mum they're happy, and that'll mean their mum will tune in again the next day.
And the worst thing was when the feature before was usually an interview would overrun, and you'd only get like about 80 seconds of the pop video, and they'd have to cut it for the news, and that'd be dear ruined, livid. But yeah,
and then of course, Timmy Mallet came along, which was another fucking masterstroke, because Timmy Mallet was like a radio legend, wasn't he? He was like. Yeah. Fucking smashing it on, I think on Piccadilly Radio, and you had to know your stuff to know that there was this geezer who was like the new sort of Kenny Everett, really, wasn't he? But only in Piccadilly Radio, right? And who was doing the phones for him? His young work experience lad learning the ropes, but a young Chris Evans. That's where Chris Evans learned his trade.
That's right.
And from Mallet. And Dyke, again, as with the rat, has thought, I've been listening to a lot of... I was up in Manchester for a conference. I stuck on the radio and there's this balmy cunt late at night causing absolute mayhem. I want you to hire him and stick him on at weekends straight after the rat. And if it works, we're going to stick him on every day during the fucking school holidays. But we don't know if this will work, Dyke. It'll work, all right. You soppy cunts. You don't realise this ain't fucking rocket science. You're all running around with your fucking research groups and whatnot. It's very simple. Puppet rat, pop video, mad cunt with an hammer.
Genius.
Done.
Genius. And excuse me, 9 a.m. as well. Stick it on 9 a.m. Kids, summer holidays, they get out of bed, let's say 20 to 9. Yeah. Because they have a bit of a lie-in. And then there it is, 9 a.m. Have your breakfast, watch Timmy Mallet or Roland Rat, whatever. And then... off out for the entire day mooching around.
Do you remember they had an item, I think it was on Whack-A-Day, Whack-a-day.
what, sorry?
They had an item on Whack-a-day called Singing...
But you know what Whack-a-day was? It was Wide Awake Club,
Wide Awake Club, that's
WAC.
it. Which is something that Big Ron adopted as a footballing term, didn't he? Do you remember?
Yes.
There he is, Wide Awake Club, goal.
Yeah. Oh, man. The cultural
the reach.
fabric of this country is all stitched together,
Yeah,
isn't it?
join the dots, sheeple.
Yeah.
Dyke's at the fucking heart of everything. Dyke has always been pulling the strings.
Yeah. True.
He, my
Whack-a-day.
mate's sister, well, she was my mate as well, really, but he was like my best mate, Joe. His sister, Rebecca, she's fucking turned up when we were in like the second year, we're about 12, 13. She's not told anyone. Bang! She's turned up on Singing in the Shower. She has sung French Kissing in the USA by Debbie Harry.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And I bumped into her a few weeks ago. I hadn't seen her for quite a few years, right?
But you mentioned it.
Yeah, first thing I think of.
Of course.
She was with her husband and her son, who was taller than me. And I just, when you see
Wow.
when you see someone who you haven't seen for years, your mind is immediately back when you were originally friends with them, which in her case would have been 1988. And she's like, "Oh, hi, how's it going?" And I've just literally gone, "Ha! Remember when you sang French Kissing in the USA in the shower?" That was before she even got
Like
to introduce me to her husband.
Deranged.
Yeah, this is a deranged boy I went to school with.
Fucking hell.
Have you done...
Well done.
The journalism in me kicked in. Have you done anything better since that
Tell me it.
in your life? And I don't mean that in a mean way. I just think you set the bar too high too early. I've never done anything close to that when I was that age. I still haven't. Few have. You have.
Why?
Why? Delaney, you prick. Why?
Well, look, we're not going to get into this Melchester episode.
Why?
We're still catch up from.
Might
from
get t-shirts
Coleman,
made
we'll
up just with
week.
Y on this. It's
Why?
really good.
Jeremy Vine, coming out of Jeremy Vine's open mouth.
Why? Prick. Why?
Prick. Why?
Amazing. Amazing work by Vine. Amazing journalism. He's like me. His journalism instinct is always on. Even when he's not actually being paid. It's just on when he's out on the streets.
Of course.
Why?
The best
What?
scoops arise,
Who? Where? When? These are the basics.
Because he established who, because he says it's an Amazon delivery man. And then he's gone in for why. And then what? Where?
He'll have established all of that
in
in an instant.
It's all there.
Yeah.
It's all there. Lovely stuff. So we'll try again next week with the Melchester Odyssey. Apologies for not getting into that this time, but we're playing catch up on the missed episodes, so there's no rush. Thank you for listening, and goodbye.
Goodbye.